Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jojo Lara and I'm here with my very good friend Tayo Aina. Right, did I pronounce it right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you pronounce it right.
I think.
Hello, people.
And so today we're going to talk about moving back to Lagos, living in Lagos, and just some tips and tricks from someone who moved back and someone who's always lived here. You've always lived here, right? Oh no, you moved back.
I didn't move back. I just travel. I just go and come once in a while.
But you're like roots.
Yeah, I'm rooted here.
I don't know why for some reason I thought you came from Ibadan.
Because
I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, so I decided to do this video because this is one of my most asked for videos. So today I'm coming to my channel to give you guys just a little bit of insight into my journey, and hopefully you can pick up a few things for yourself.
What's the first step of moving back to Lagos?
For me personally, growing up, I always had this thing in the back of my head that I wanted to move and live in Nigeria. Like, I grew up around a lot of Nigerians, and I watched a lot of Nigerian movies. Also, you know, the whole like Nigerian lifestyle more than the UK lifestyle. But then when I was at uni and like actually getting towards that age, I was like that fantasy had left my head a long time ago. It was just when the reality of actually getting a job in the UK set in, I was like, you know what, maybe I should try this move into Nigeria thing. And my uncle once said ages ago how, like, if you want to make real money and do real stuff, that you need to come back to Nigeria. So I always had this idea that the real hustle is in Nigeria, and then the older I got, it was more like backed up with knowledge of, yes, actually there is more room to grow in an emerging market than a saturated market.
But I feel most people actually think about it the other way. Most people want to travel out and feel like there are more opportunities out there than here.
Yeah.
What do you have to say like about that generally?
Definitely. So first of all, I really am passionate about dispelling that whole idea of abroad is like instant success. I think it's like one of the biggest misconceptions, and they just have these like romanticized ideas of once you go to the UK you're gonna blow in the cold. It's cold. Like, you don't understand the cold. Once you experience the cold, I think you'll understand. And that's also another reason why I moved back.
Oh, the cold?
The cold, yeah.
The weather, you prefer the weather here too?
Definitely. I like being in a warm temperature. I think even my skin, my body, I feel healthier, I feel stronger, I'm more motivated to get up and do stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're at work in the middle of the day and the sun is shining, I feel good. Yeah, I feel energized.
Talking about office and all that, how did you get started? For somebody to leave where they are used to and come to somewhere they are not used to, because you've not lived in Nigeria for like a very long time.
Yeah.
So for you to come back and now try to figure out how to get, first of all, let's talk about jobs. How did you enter the system, like getting a job and providing for yourself? Because obviously you need to hustle.
Yeah, of course. So in terms of providing a job, I was lucky. Even whilst I was at university, I always had this kind of like side hustle of using social media to make money and do gigs and promote brands and do little photo shoots, which I could charge people for. So as soon as I arrived in Nigeria, I had a skill that I could immediately use to make a little bit of money. Do you know what I mean?
Modeling.
Which was modeling, yeah. So it's something that I'd come back and done like when I'd come on holiday. So I had those relationships already. And I think that was really important because when you're looking for like a solid job, it's not something that you can even predict how long it's going to take. I get my job until like 6 months after living here. And even then, I always say this, I feel like I was really lucky to even get a job that quick.
6
yeah,
months.
and that's 6 months. Sure. There's a lot of promising, appealing opportunities that arise very quickly, I think, when you move to Nigeria, but do they actually manifest into something is another question. I think you come and you have all these ideas, or like whatever industry you're in, you know, you might have friends that know people in those industries, and they're like, oh, it's I remember like when I moved back, people would be like, oh, even before I moved back, and I would come for holiday and I would tell people, yeah, like I'm gonna move back. My background is real estate. just to get a feel of what was out there. And people were like, oh, no problem. Like, I know a guy will get you a job. It's nothing, blah, blah, blah. And sorry to say, like, a lot of those things will actually fall through. A lot of people will make promises and fail. Sure. So it's something that you should be prepared for. So I think if you do have something that you can fall back on, like a side hustle that's already established, or a skill that you can immediately monetize. Yeah, exactly. And also leverage. Yeah, so if you're you're good at graphics, or you're good at photography. Like at one point I was actually like, when I had my camera, I was like going to my cousin who has a fashion line, and I was like, oh, let me come and do pictures. And I did the pictures of her. She had a professional photographer. Well, yeah, but I just came because I was like, look, let me just try out. Yeah, like, you know me, I need to be like working. Like I need to be active. I've always been like that. That's the hustle. Like, so you just have to be ready to like kind of, you know, and sometimes even like taking a step back, even if, you know, in the UK you are making a certain amount, like don't expect to make that certain, that amount straight away. The opportunity in Nigeria it can come at any time, in any form, at any time. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you should sit around idle waiting for like the biggest opportunity. I think you should be busy straight away. As soon as you can get busy, be busy. And being busy is what will then attract more and more opportunities. I waffled so much. Getting a house.
Yeah, getting a house. Yeah. How did you know, first of all, getting houses in Lagos is a headache. Like even for people who live here, getting a house for like to live and all that, it's very hectic. So how did you go about like getting
my apartment? So first of all, I was lucky. I was able to save. I know.
God is on your side.
I know. But it's good. It's good to like be honest about when. True. Because a lot of people might look at how things have happened for you and just feel like that's how it is. So I think it's good. It's really important for me to be honest and say like, this was really lucky for me. It wasn't a reflection of my hard work or anything. It was like, this was sheer luck. Right time, right place, right opportunity. So that's important. So yeah, I was lucky enough to stay with a friend for a while, which gave me a longer period of time to actually find an apartment. And then actually another friend of mine who is an Igbo guy. You know, Igbo guys are all about that. Like, they're so crafty, and they know a good deal. They know how to bargain a good deal. Like, they're just so good at like getting a good deal and knowing stuff. Business-wise. Exactly, which is actually like a bit funny because my background is real estate. So I expected it to be easier for me to just find a place myself. I didn't think I would need help, but actually, thank God, like my friend actually called me and was like, oh, he's seen a place. And he thinks it might be in line with what I was looking for. Like, let's go check it out. And honestly, like, thank God I went with him at the time, because even the conversation and the negotiation, I wouldn't have been able to hold my own. Yeah, like, even with my experience, like, because there's a different language, now I definitely could handle myself 100%. But back then, you know, like, there's a way they look at you as a woman. There's a way they look at you.
I'm not mentioning that now because there's this stigma around women getting houses.
Definitely, there's a stigma around. Exactly, there's definitely a stigma.
How did you like deal with that?
I think there's no getting around it. Honestly, I think it's just sad. It's disheartening.
Did you experience any of that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, before I found. Eventually found the apartment I ended up getting at the time. I'd gone for, like, by myself. Like I said, I was looking by myself, and I'd gone to meet, like, agents who had then told me that I have to meet the landlord. And at my age, like, I feel like I'm a grown-ass woman. I was asked, where are my parents? And even in the UK, I wasn't living at home, and I haven't been living at home for like many years. Like, I had my own apartment in the UK. Like, I'd had several apartments in the UK at that point. So like, for someone to ask me like, where are my parents? And I know, maybe because I look young.
Yeah, you look young.
Yeah, so for them to ask me like, where are my parents? Like, I remember actually feeling like offended, because I was like, why are you asking me where my parents are? Like, I have proof of income, I have a job. Like, why do you feel like I need parents to fund an apartment? If I was a guy, you wouldn't be asking me that question. Exactly. And just the way they look at you, it's like literally, and this is not even just in rent an apartment, in Nigeria in general, you're actually trying to have a serious conversation with someone. I have my money. Like the same money, if Tayo was renting an apartment, the same money that Tayo will pay, I have the same money. But I'm trying to talk to you and you're literally like laughing at me almost. Like literally, I would be in meetings with landlords who would literally be like like I would be talking and they just find me talking. They just find me funny, like just the whole thing. So you want to rent my apartment, really? What is it that you said you do? Real estate. Really? And you can afford it? Like, yes, I can. Yes, like they laugh at you. Like it's really bad. Like even when you do move in, and even just dealing with men and facilities managers and stuff like that, there's a lot of sexism. I think when you first move back, it's kind of like, especially if you're not like strong. I mean, some people are like so strong, they just fire for fire. But if you're not that kind of person, yeah, it's like, it's very disheartening and it's like going back into the Stone Age almost. So yeah, that was a little bit about my experience.
About moving back, how was I'm sure what they eat over there is different from what they eat here. Yeah. What was your preference in terms of food? Were you able to adapt to what we eat here, like all the amalas, the ebas?
Yeah.
What's your favorite food, first of all? Do you have a favorite food?
Yeah, amala.
Amala. Yeah. You used to eat amala in UK?
No, because actually growing up, I hated amala. Like when my mom used to make it, I used to call it chocolate fufu when I was younger. And I just, the smell, everything, I was like, I hated it. But when I came, like, not when I moved back, just coming back I was at a wedding, like a family wedding, and then they bought it with begari. And I'd never had begari before. So I'd only had it like with a redu or whatever. So like they did the whole combination and they were like, oh, it's so good, try it. And then I tried it. That was the end. That was the start.
You never looked back?
That was the start of a long romance. A long romance between me and Amala. Yeah. So like obviously for me, I grew up eating Nigerian food and I even grew up around Nigerian food because my mom's business centered around African food. However, like you go from like maybe eating African food a couple times a week in Nigeria to eating it pretty much all the time. Because if you're actually trying to live within a budget, like obviously you can buy things that, you know, are more of what you used to eat in the UK. But you will have to make compromises, especially if you're trying to live and you're trying to save money and not live like a luxurious over the top life, because there's a place in VI called Delis, which is like a great place to like get like high-end groceries and like imported stuff and all that kind of stuff. One time I went shopping there and when they told me my bill at the counter, I was literally just like I just wanted to take everything back and just be like, nah, it's too much. So like it took me a while to learn, and I'm lucky because I had a friend who also like knew a lot of places to go. I think when it comes to food, that's the best thing. Well, not the best thing, but that's the only way to survive. You need to know, okay, this is my shopping list for going to Oniru Market. Like, I'm going to get this stuff. Then I'm going to get a few things from the bougie, you know, shop. Yeah, and then, oh, this place is good for bread, and then this place is good for that. So you're able to, like, enjoy the things that you enjoyed in the UK, make changes where you need to make changes, still try and eat healthy and stuff like that. However, I do feel like I eat a lot healthier here because I feel like the food is... I'm not eating processed food all the time. I'm eating...
You prepare most of your food?
Yeah, it's not like and it's not like cans and tins.
You buy everything. Yeah,
I'm not definitely. I don't eat as much sugar at all. Like I eat sugar like here and there, whereas in the UK, because it's just like everywhere, you're always eating like saturated food, processed food, sugar, and all that kind of stuff. So pros and cons. But when you travel, you miss it, and then when you're here, you miss UK food. So grass is always greener.
On the other side, true.
Mm-hmm.
When you spend some time in Nigeria, like, oh, I want to leave. But when you leave Nigeria, you always want to come back.
I'm sure you felt the same when you went to Dubai. You said it.
I felt the same.
Like at first.
At first, like everything is new. You're like, wow, like everything works here. See cars, houses, everything just looking fresh and smooth. But after like 1 week, 2 weeks, you're like, okay, I was go back to my house.
Yeah.
That's actually how it was for me too.
Exactly. There's no place like home. Okay, guys, so I hope I was able to answer some of your questions in this video. If you have any more questions, please drop them in the comment section and I'll try and address them in a new video. Make sure you subscribe and just keep telling me what you guys want to know about, and I hope I'll be able to give you guys the content that you're looking for. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Peace. We'll leave out there. So,
Excuse me.
I'm going to add this part.
Excuse me. Put the fan on, I beg.